My name is Kelly Donovan. I work for Global Infrastructure Basel Foundation in Switzerland. My organization, Global Infrastructure Basel Foundation, is the global program manager of the Safe and Sound Cities program. So I look forward to providing a global introduction to the program in the next 10 minutes or so, and hopefully my introduction will help frame the conversations which follow later in this event. Briefly about my organization, GIB, Global Infrastructure Basel Foundation. We are a nonprofit organization in Basel, Switzerland. We have been existing for about 15 years. And our mission is to mainstream the transition to sustainable and resilient infrastructure. And so we envision a world in which investments in social, economic, and physical infrastructure lead to inclusive, sustainable, and resilient communities. And engaging with young people, empowering young people is a strategic pillar of our organization. We believe that young people are the most affected by some of the challenges that we are seeing in our world today and are the leaders of a future that is sustainable and resilient. So that's why the Safe and Sound Cities program is very important to our organization, empowering young people to lead forward for sustainable and resilient futures. Now, within the Safe and Sound Cities program, as I mentioned, my organization is the global program manager. And what that means is that GIB has designed an approach for the program together with other stakeholders. We've designed a theory of change. We've received funding for this program. And in turn, my organization partners with other organizations around the world to whom we grant the funding to implement the activities on the ground. Now, the S²Cities program at the global level aims to improve young people's safety and well-being in urban environments. We are targeting young people between the ages of 15 to 24 years old, living in secondary cities in low and middle income countries in the global south. And the key stakeholders include, of course, young people, as well as local governments, civil society organizations, private sector, community actors, academia, and so on. And the overall impact, which we are hoping to achieve with the program, is that urban environments are safer for young people on a personal, societal, and environmental level. The program piloted in 2021 in 2 cities, in Bandung, Indonesia, and Envigado, Colombia. The program expanded to 4 more cities in 2022, 2 cities in Ecuador, Cuenca and Ambato, and 2 cities in the Philippines, Baguio and Naga. And this year, we are hoping to expand the program to more cities, depending on available funding. Briefly, in terms of how we recruit cities to join the program, this is a process that is led in close partnership with ICLEI. We launch a call for applications. This is an example from 2022 when we were recruiting 4 more cities. And in this call for applications, we explain a bit to cities what they can receive by being part of this program and also what we are asking cities to contribute to the program. So there are some prerequisites which we ask cities to allocate in order to join the program. And in return, cities can benefit from capacity building, they can benefit from rehabilitated infrastructure, and they can benefit from working with young people to develop initiatives to address urban safety that benefit not only young people in that city, but all of the community and all residents. So if you're interested, these slides will be shared afterwards. You can take a look at our 2022 call for new cities. But really, we are looking, as I mentioned, for secondary cities that are committed to empowering young people, that have a dedicated commitment to supporting young people, and are willing to provide the prerequisites which we ask for in order to join the program. But more details is in that brochure, which we will be sharing after this event. I want to mention that the S²Cities program consists of over 20 organizations around the world. These are the funding and the managing partners. We have, of course, my organization, GIB. We also have Fondation Botnar, who is the program's primary donor. So the funds for this program at the moment are philanthropic funds coming from a Swiss-based foundation. We also have a grant manager and administrative partner, Swiss Philanthropy Foundation, also based in Switzerland. At the global level, we also have experts in communication, monitoring, evaluation and learning, placemaking, relational well-being, research. All of these global partners work together to advise our local partners and collaborate with our local partners. And at the local level, In every program city where the S²Cities program is implemented, we partner with a regional branch of ICLEI, Local Governments for Sustainability. So that's ICLEI Southeast Asia in the case of Indonesia and Philippines. And we work with ICLEI South America in Ecuador and Colombia. And ICLEI is a key partner for us that facilitates communication with the government, helps establish an official agreement for us to start the partnership in order for us to implement the program. And ICLEI really serves as a key intermediary point of contact to facilitate coordination and communication with government. Also, in every program city where the program operates, we partner with a local nonprofit organization that is an expert in youth engagement and capacity building. So in the case of Naga, we are partnered with the WeSolve Foundation, and in Baguio, we are partnered with the Cordilleran Youth Center, and I believe you will be hearing more from these organizations later in this event. Now, I also want to highlight that the program does not have a set or a list of predetermined safety issues which we are seeking to address with this program. The safety issues are determined and decided locally by design of the program. So this is just a snapshot of some of the safety issues that emerged out of our pilot cities in Bandung and Envigado. They range from lack of well-designed, inclusive spaces for community and young people to street harassment, noise pollution, inadequate waste management, bullying, underutilization of existing public facilities. So this is just a snapshot overview of some of the safety issues that came out of our pilot cities. And I think many of these issues also resonate with the safety challenges that are coming out of our more recent countries, Ecuador and the Philippines. And I think you'll be hearing more about these issues later on today. Now, in terms of the program activities, we have 4 components of activities, all of which are designed to drive systemic change. So we're really seeking to achieve safer urban environments at the systems level. So our activity components consist of understanding systems, building capacities, catalyzing innovation, and scaling. In the first step, understanding systems, young people and other stakeholders come together to identify key safety challenges. As I mentioned, the program does not have a predetermined list of safety issues. This process of analyzing the safety and security situation, analyzing the relationships between safety challenges, and identifying priority issues that are relevant for young people, relevant for the public and private sector, civil society, and identifying these challenges, which will be the focus of the next activities that come in the program. In step 2, building capacities, these activities bring together young people, government, private sector to build trust with each other, to engage in ways that they might not have previously engaged. So really building capacities to engage meaningfully to address safety and security issues, to try to lead towards more participatory decision making in the future. Then we move into our catalyzing innovation stage. So having identified priority safety issues, it could be waste, street harassment, whatever is locally relevant, having built capacities, skills, knowledge, networks in step 2, our young people and our other stakeholders move into an innovation phase where they co-create, co-design an initiative that will be implemented to address the safety challenge. So this innovation challenge, it can take the form of a multi-day hackathon or ideathon. It could be spread over a few months where young people go through mentoring, refinement, pitching. But the output of this component is really that there are some winning initiatives that will move forward for implementation. And then finally, we come to scaling systems. So this is where we're really connecting the lessons learned from implementing youth-led innovations across cities, between young people and cities around the world to really speak towards policy level changes and systems level changes. So we organize many events and exchanges to try to scale the work that's coming out of these activities. And I'll also mention that the methodologies for all of these program activities are determined locally by our partners. So they are diverse across our different cities. One learning event as part of our scaling systems component that I'll briefly highlight was our global convening, which took place in October 2023 with the help of virtual reality. We were able to engage over 500 attendees across our program cities, such that young people cities were able to talk to each other from Ecuador, Colombia, Indonesia in a carbon-friendly and a sustainable way. I will also briefly highlight the Youth Innovation Hubs, which is a key output of the S²Cities program. In each program city where we work, the governments allocate a public-owned facility or space to the program, which is then rehabilitated and equipped with program funding. And so we have physical infrastructure spaces that come out of the program to host the program activities, which I had just mentioned, and also have lasting impact. So these youth innovation hubs are meant to outlive the legacy of the Safe and Sound Cities program and be a place designed with and for young people where they can come together and continue to express, create, and innovate. So just a brief snapshot of the transformation of the Youth Innovation Hub in Baguio. Here you can see the before and after pictures, an interconnected set of 3 rooms donated by the city, which has turned into a very warm and welcoming space for young people and other stakeholders. In Baguio, they've also designed a mobile youth hub, so complementary to that stationary youth hub, a youth hub on wheels to bring program activities to outlying neighborhoods and engage a more diverse range of participants. Here's a snapshot of the Youth Innovation Hub from Cuenca in Ecuador, which has taken the form of a podcast studio, a recording studio, where young people have come together and created their own podcast in which they talk about safety and security issues. Definitely invite you to check out that podcast if you're interested. It is in Spanish, but it's a really great example of how the program's Youth Innovation Hubs are infrastructure that will benefit generations of youth to come beyond the legacy of S²Cities. Now, I know that I need to wrap up, so I want to briefly highlight some of the youth initiatives that are coming out of our cities around the world to give a taste of what types of innovations the program is helping to empower. Here in Bandung, we have the Rhino Initiative, which aimed at revitalizing neglected public infrastructure and creating inclusive spaces. So you can see the before and after transformation. Before there was public infrastructure under a highway flyover bridge that had unfortunately been neglected and had been turned into an informal parking lot with abandoned facilities. Now, the youth initiative brought not only infrastructural improvements to that space, improved lighting, designing a football field, a new mural, but also brought a cultural program of events and activities to breathe life back into this space. And very recently, this initiative became recognized as an official non-governmental organization in Bandung, Indonesia, with the name Kami Ruang Ketiga. So this is a great example of how the youth initiatives are designed to scale and be sustained beyond the first pilot intervention. So this NGO has a very strong youth membership base and in partnership with government will continue to bring its placemaking revitalization efforts to a variety of public spaces in Bandung. I also want to highlight this example from Bandung, the Amreta initiative, which had the goal of establishing a circular organic waste facility. So organic waste, inadequate facilities to manage organic waste was an identified safety issue in Bandung. So these young people identified a site by a river, by a central river, where they established a facility using maggots to process organic waste in a circular manner. So the fertilizer that is brought by these maggots by processing the organic waste is fed back into the local economy for use by local farmers and the agricultural sector. I want to highlight an example from Colombia, the other side of the world. This is the Veo Veo Lab, which had the goal of promoting natural environment conservation against urban sprawl. So this initiative led a series of awareness and education events, tours into the nearby forests, activities that really were geared towards promoting awareness around the importance of natural environment conservation against urban sprawl into these environments. Now, I won't go into detail on the initiatives coming out of the Philippines because I think you'll hear about those later, but just to say, we've concluded the pitching and the selection of youth initiatives from Baguio and Naga, very exciting ideas coming out of the Philippines, and we are really looking forward to see how these ideas go forward for implementation. But again, I won't speak too much in detail about these initiatives. Finally, just to highlight some of the ideas coming out of Ecuador, where they have similarly concluded their pitching and implementation events. They have some ideas that resonate with some of the initiatives coming out of the Philippines as well, revitalizing downtown places. On the left-hand side, you see a staircase, which will be revitalized through art, turning this space into a more inclusive and safe space. On the right, you see some ideas to bring in multifunctional street furniture that enhance mobility and enhance safety on the streets. Now, I will conclude, Chris. I know that we need to move on to our next speakers, but I just want to highlight our opportunities page on our website where we invite you to take a look if you are interested in joining the program, maybe a city, maybe you are representing a youth organization or a nonprofit organization and you want to be part of S²Cities. Our opportunities to join when they arise will be posted there on our opportunities page. And finally, if you want to learn more about the program, the impacts and its innovations, we have a wonderful impact report published at the end of 2023. So it covers the first pilot years of the program, and you are very welcome to check that out for more information about our initiatives.